Afternoon everybody, welcome back to the channel. And this week a bit of a hobby update, just sort of give you a bit of an update on some of the things I've been getting involved with in recent weeks, thoughts, ideas, new projects and a few new arrivals. So firstly, on the painting desk, I have made some progress with my Italian Wars Spanish. You'll see on the screen now some of my early stages Spanish, so I've based them all up onto lollipop sticks, done my usual grey undercoat with a light tone wash over the top. So you start with some nice shadow and contrast on the paints to start with. I've fleshed them all and started to now add some base colours in on the figures, so red and yellows and armour. Doing a couple of test stands first. The plan is that they will be based on very large bases, so I'm planning to have 40 plus figures on a base, this sort of size, 10 by 8. These are 10mm Pendraken. So probably going to be somewhere around 34 to 36 pike, with half a dozen or so figures at the front representing the kind of sword and buckler men, and then I'm going to have the arquebus stroke musket type troops on separate stands that will fit either side of the main base. My reasonings for doing that are that in the rules that I want to use Furioso, that they do have separate stands for most of the figures. Secondly, it gives me a bit of flexibility depending on which game system I want to play. And thirdly, it means that I haven't got to use those firearms as part of a tertio. I can use them as standalone units if I so wish as well. So that's the plan. At the moment, I'm building two tertios. I've got the flags ready to go, just sort of trying to get the main bulk of the troops ready, and then they'll be ready to go. Then once we've done those, we'll build the shot, the firearms troops to go alongside those, and then we start looking at the other units in the Spanish army. So there'll be some Jeannettes, other types of cavalry there, some artillery, and some other bits and pieces, possibly some mercenary units as well. So that's the Italian Wars and progress to date on that, but that will take a little while. Couple of things I've had arrive in recent weeks, birthday related really, certainly one of them, and this was just something I picked up as a bit of a fun thing really. Wargame strategy board games. This is a booklet. Picked this up off Amazon. This is actually a blank booklet with mock hexed maps that you could set up games on it, depending what type of games that you were wanting to do, or a campaign system, for example. You've also got some spaces there to write out army lists, objectives, if you're setting objectives for players in games. So there's some interesting little things in there if you want to make up your own missions or backstory. You got all of that as well. So it's really like a little aid memoir, just to help you formalize things that you might want to do. It's very good value for money. It doesn't cost very much at all, but maybe something a number of you may find quite useful. Another thing I've been looking at in recent weeks, I've downloaded a couple of free rules sets online. So 2x2 Napoleonics, which I saw recommended by quite a number of people. So this is a Napoleonic system designed for 2mm figures on a 2x2 foot table. Very much interested me because I like the small table kind of fast play system, and I was hoping I might be able to adapt those rules to use with my travel battle sets that I have set up already, if not to adapt to my 6mm Napoleonic forces, which I'd like to get rebased and reset up as well. But there was another reason for getting those rules, and that runs alongside the other free set I downloaded from Mark's Games Room. They recently did an Age of Lincoln mod for Age of Hannibal from Little Wars TV. So this was an American Civil War battle. They showed you basically a couple of videos linked to Gettysburg and Little Round Top and what would happen if Hood for the Confederates had attacked round on the flank, and they used these rules, and it looked a very interesting system, very simple, offered for free from Mark and his website. So I've downloaded that with the view that I want to combine the two best elements of both those sets of rules and make my own home brew, and that's with the view to doing a small table sort of travel battle American Civil War set. So I've got the Perry Miniatures travel battle set, as you will have seen from my previous videos, and I've painted and put that all together, and that's very much Napoleonic themed, although they're red and blue forces. But I thought it'd be nice to have a travel battle equivalent of an American Civil War game. So I've pre-ordered a small gaming mat, looking to set this up on a gridded system, 3 by 2 foot table, so very small footprint. That gives me a 12 by 6 or 7 grids, I believe it was, at 7.5 centimetre grids, and I'm going to be basing my 2mm ACW up on 60mm bases. Just got to kind of finalise in my own mind depths, because artillery is causing me a little bit of a headache in that, but I want to then use the best of Mark's rule set within that to set up a very fast play ACW set at a high level. So this will be brigade or divisional level. Each base will represent brigade or division, and there should be sufficient space, because I'm doing it in 2mm, to represent the regiments within those brigades on that base. So I'm hoping to set up some quite nice diorama type bases, but on a very small footprint game. So I've had my little order arrive this week from Irregular Miniatures. Nick, I was talking to you last night, one of my long-time friends from the club. I said I had nothing arrive. Well, I told a little porky I had these two little bags arrive with a Union and a Confederate Army in there, and from Brigade Models I've also got the American buildings set, which look perfect for this scale. If anyone has watched my Strength and Honour videos, I'm going to do some bases to represent woods and forests using a similar approach to what I did with my Strength and Honour game, and gradually I'm hoping to build that 3 by 2 table, but that's not a project I'm going to be starting on immediately, because I want to concentrate on my Italian wars. But again, something in the offing there. Potentially I may go down a historical battle. I have one in mind that I quite fancy doing. It just comes down to whether I can fit that within the confines of that table space. If not, it may be a more generic approach that I'll take there. So that's it really this week. A little update on things going on, projects, couple of little new arrivals. I have had one other new arrival, which, just to finish, will give everyone a little chuckle. Some pipe cleaners. Yeah, you're probably thinking, well, what on earth am I going to use those for? Well, I stole that idea from another YouTube Wargamer who has already been playing 2 by 2 Napoleonics, and cutting these to the width of his bases, and you slot those in front of the base to represent when that unit is fired. So it's the kind of smoke erupting from the line of fire. I thought that was a really clever idea, and for this scale, perfect visually. is a very good way, without using markers, of representing when a unit is under fire or firing. And certainly if you look at the 2x2 Napoleonic rules, one of the key elements of that game, which I particularly liked, was that once troops become engaged, i.e. start firing at one another, it's very difficult to regain command and control of them. So these markers are quite paramount in that game as well. To finish off, plans for next week, we're hoping to get our first game of Nimitz on the table. This is the latest offering from the Sam Mustafa stable. I've got most of his games. Big fan. Nimitz looks really interesting. I'm not a naval wargamer by any means, but these again look a classic, fast play, fun game, and we're looking forward to getting that on the table. So hopefully we'll report more on that once we've had a game next week, and try and get you some photos as well. But hope you've enjoyed this little update, and look forward to seeing you all again soon.